Yes, this is it. We're started. This is episode 277.
Whoa.
Yes, of No Laugh Track Podcast. That means Jenny Zigrino. That is 277 episodes recorded right here at Acme Comedy Company.
277 weeks?
Weeks. Yes. Yes.
What is that divided by 52?
It's a lot of weeks.
How many years?
That is over 5.
5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And after it took 277 to get you here. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was here as a feature
You
for
were.
Carmen Lynch 2 years ago.
Did we? Is there a chance we met when you were here?
Yeah, probably.
Wait a minute. Was she? Let me think now.
I was here for my it was my high school reunion,
Okay.
and I just was her feature. That's it.
Were you here at the club when she came and did the podcast? Were you here with her rehearsing
I
sort of
think,
lines for something she was doing?
Maybe, yeah. But I might also have a false memory of this.
Yeah, sure.
But
I'm going to say it was
probably-
you. But
Yeah,
no,
it was
maybe
probably
it
me.
wasn't.
I don't know who else it would be.
Okay. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
All right.
2015.
Okay.
I just got done with the gym. I'm so tired.
Oh, no.
It all just hit me where I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no. Coffee stat.
Coffee. Actually, yeah, if there is coffee, I would love some.
Oh. Yep. Did you hear that?
Ask me all the questions.
Yeah, where should we start? Today is, this is your first headlining week now, of course,
Yeah.
at Acme.
At Acme, it's been great.
And it is Thursday, so there's been 2 shows already.
We had 2 shows packed, really great, really fun. My feature, Greg Berman, his teacher showed up.
His teacher showed up.
Yeah, that he used to TA for. She sat in the front. And you bet your sweet ass I razzed her.
Yeah?
Yeah. I made fun of that bitch. She's very nice. Very nice lady.
Who's Greg Berman?
Greg Berman is my feature. He is a Minnesota local.
Oh, okay.
And him and I both live in L.A. now.
Oh, okay.
Not like together, but we live there.
Right.
That's where we live.
Yeah, we're going to get to all the things that you have done. I have watched a movie that you're in.
Oh,
I have watched your half hour, Comedy Central. We're going to talk about all that stuff. Conan, I've watched your Conans. All of that stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Wow. You're like fan number 1.
Well,
thank God you finally followed me on Instagram.
Right. As of 2 hours ago, I think. But the Twitter follow has been longer. You can look that up.
Oh, it has
I've
it?
been following you longer than 2 hours on
Oh,
Twitter.
thank you.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours?
Days. Months.
Months. I only look at Twitter to get upset now.
Oh.
That's the only reason I use it. Where I'm like, I've been having too good a day. Let's fuck it up.
Yeah, it does fuck people's days up quite a bit. It's where besides family, it delivers more bad news than anything else.
It's kind of perfect because, like, when you look down at it, it just slowly moves you, like, more into a fetal position. Like, the more you look at social media, you're just like, oh, no.
When you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
do you have notifications on your phone?
Oh, yeah.
And
Check those things immediately.
Immediately.
It's like a drug. It's like,
Isn't it?
It's like your wake and bake.
Yeah.
But you just hope they're nice.
How about like the news? Do you go to that right away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, is he dead yet?
You don't have to say who we were talking about.
No, I don't have to, but we all know. We all know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's start. You've already hinted towards it that you're from here.
I am,
Yes.
yeah. I'm
Were you born in Minnesota?
well, I was born in Burnsville and then
St.
lived
Paul right here.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I should explore St. Paul more. I never really explored it.
How
Do you know what I mean? Like,
dare you?
I was always Minneapolis side. I never really like explored St. Paul.
I do know what you mean. When I was a kid, my mom, for some reason, had a bag from one of these, hit up all the Dales. There's like Rosedale, this Dale, all the malls.
Why don't I hit up all the Dales?
The Dales. No, it was a bag. It was a bag
Yeah.
from one of those malls, and that was like the slogan on it,
like-
something about the Dales.
Oh, Ridgedale?
Ridgedale, yeah, and all the other Dales. And I remember seeing that bag, and it listed one in Minnetonka. Growing up in St. Paul,
Yeah.
I thought
was
Minnetonka could have been
Ridgedale.
in Iowa, for as far as I was concerned.
Yeah,
so
right?
I'm just backing you up on, like, you don't really get the other side
No,
of
like
town.
Roseville. Is that over there? I used to go to White Bear because I had friends in White Bear. That was about it. And then...
That's east, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, as I got older, like, now, like, I think I try to go out there. I have friends who live there now, so I'll, like, might go see them later. But I just don't know anything about St. Paul's nightlife. I mean, I know the State Fair is over there, and, like...
Don't go there today.
Oh, no, it's definitely closed. I'll find a way in. I'll break in. But, yeah, like, that whole area, like, now, like, because when I left when I was 18
Okay.
to go to college. The light rail had maybe just started,
Yeah.
and I still haven't ridden it yet. But
many Minnesotans that live in the Twin Cities have not ridden
they
it
should
yet.
ride it. Oh my
It
god!
doesn't have a lot of convenient stops unless you live in the heart of Minneapolis.
That's true. They
Yeah.
really were dumb on that.
Yeah. Like, for example,
get it out to the west.
if I wanted to take, like, the light rail from my house to the comedy club here, I would have to drive somewhere and park my car and then get on. Doesn't that defeats the purpose?
No, you take a bus.
Take the bus.
Look, I used to live in Boston. I lived in an area called Jamaica Plain. There were no trains near me. You would take the 39 over to the Green Line and then hop on the Green Line and boom, you're good.
Boom, you're good.
Yeah, that's what life is in public transportation. It's not easy, okay? Or get a bike. I don't know.
Fine. I have a bike. Fine.
Yeah, just get a bike, okay? Stop using your cars. I have a Prius. I take care of the environment.
Do you have a Prius?
I do.
You live
I live in LA.
You live in LA.
I have to have a Prius.
Or no car at all.
Or no car. Yeah. Nothing. Prius or less. Screw it.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
we're getting too far ahead here.
Sorry,
wanna go back.
I love talking about Priuses. I love Priuses. But yeah, so I grew up here. More western
Where did you guys
suburbs.
live? Yeah.
So like Minnetonka, Hopkins. We're now in Eden. Sorry, I had a lot of seltzer water. We're now in Eden Prairie.
Okay.
Was the last place I lived. So like when I was 17, we moved there, and then my dad's there now with his new family,
Okay.
and that's where I stay. So right near the mall, right near that great Eden Prairie Mall.
Yeah.
And then, like right behind my house, here's a fun, interesting Prince fact. If you want to know a fun, interesting Prince fact.
Give me one.
So I live, the area I live right behind it is Aztec Drive. And there was always this plot of land that was like super undeveloped and everything else was developed.
Uh-huh.
And then when he died, they were like, oh, Prince owned an acre of land on Aztec somewhere. And that's where Paisley Park was originally supposed to be, in Eden Prairie.
What?
Yeah, but the neighbors, the ones that I live near, were like, it'll be too loud.
Right.
And I'm so angry.
They'll park near my house.
Oh, I was so mad when I found that out. But yeah, it's being sold right now. So if someone wants to buy up Prince's land on Aztec, I'm going to buy it.
I was going to say, have you put a bid in?
I should. Like, I wish I had enough money. I would just own it for like maybe a month and be like, what am I doing?
Let's say you had the money. What would you put there?
If I had $300,000? Oh, do I have to buy it? Or can I just have $300,000?
Now the story changes. Wait, now I do have 300? Well, I'd scratch that. I don't want it anymore.
I think I just build a little cottage. I'd build a little house for myself, or condos and sell them off and invest.
Look across the street here. There are plenty of condos.
Yeah, but in Eden Prairie, in a weird industrial park. Come on, that's where they're needed.
Where Prince considered building a studio.
I'll call it the Prince Dominiums.
Oh, stop.
I know. Someone should stop me.
Okay, so you left here and you left the family, went to college?
Yeah, I went to Massachusetts College of Art in Boston.
No.
Yeah.
Which school did you go to here?
I went to the Arts High School, Purpose Center for Arts Education.
That's not a real thing.
It is a real thing. You didn't know about it? It's in Golden Valley.
Really?
Yeah, it's a art school that has like 5 concentrations. So visual arts, which was what I was, music, theater, literary, and dance.
No kidding.
It was like 200 kids, and it's 11th and 12th grade, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
No kidding.
Yeah, I loved it.
Were you in like a public school before 11th grade?
Yeah, it's a charter school. So it was still like public, but
Okay.
I was at Hopkins before that.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, screw this. I want to be an artist. And I went in for like drawing and painting, and then I came out wanting to be a filmmaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Drawing and painting, huh?
Yeah, I used to want to be a comic book artist.
Awesome.
That's what I thought I was going to be. But I didn't like comic books.
I like the art of comic books more than I like reading comic books.
Yeah, like I think that as I got older, like I dated a guy that was really into comics, so I got into comics, but it wasn't like superhero. It was like Sandman and like the Neil Gaiman and oh my God, what's his name? I really like him. He's a Disney artist. Walter something. I forget. But I got into more serious serious graphic novels, and then that's what I thought I was going to do. And then I was like, oh, I want to write and make movies and be in them. So then I went into that, and then it kind of went back into stand-up. But I had done stand-up when I was like a teenager here and tried it.
Yeah.
Got scared, and then was like, never again, and then picked it back up again.
How did that happen the first time? What encouraged that?
I was watching Dane Cook's special. And
Tourgasm? Or before that?
No. Way before that, his half hour. And I have his
where he's like pulling his t-shirt up and the
yeah, and when he like looks at the camera and goes something about black tar heroin.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have
liked that one.
That was a good one. And I have his album that you had to order from his website.
Ooh.
Like before it was like, look, I was deep in the Dane.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. And
you were friends with him on MySpace, no doubt.
I probably was.
Yeah.
You know he's on Bumble, right?
No.
He's on Bumble. He says he's 32. He's not. Don't worry, Dan. I'd still date you. Let's go out. So that's what started it. Then I took a class, and then I realized I was too young to do it because I couldn't talk about anything I wanted to talk about. So then I just picked. Actually, when I was 18, I did the open mic here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm 18, I can talk about fucking now. Like, that's
so
what
that
I
was
talked
the
about.
that was the holdup. Was like these things I want to say, but nobody wants to hear a 16-year-old say this.
Yeah, no one wants to hear a 16-year-old girl talk about like boys and sex. First of all, I hadn't even had sex yet, so no one wants to know. Like when I'm just get on stage, I'm like, can anyone tell me what sex feels like?
Wait, no, that's never been done on stage. Are you kidding me? Except,
oh man,
if you would have saved that as an 18-year-old.
No,
16
by that
makes
time,
it creepy.
I already knew what's up. But so then I remember I came here when I was 18, and I was so excited to like actually do what I wanted to talk about. I think I just talked about masturbating with a shower head.
Sure.
You know, it was like you know, it's like when you don't have you know, when you don't allow yourself to have pizza for a year, and then someone's like, do you want pizza? And then you eat all of the pizza. That's literally what I did on stage.
Okay.
I was like, no one's let me talk what I want about. Let's talk about female masturbation. And just went into it. I think I did okay.
I was going to say, do you remember how it went?
I think I did okay.
Do you remember who was anybody we know that was here that night?
I think Cy was there.
Cy?
I think I remember Cy. Cy closed it out.
Sure.
I remember that specifically. And then I did it a little bit more. Oh my God, you're literally the best. That's perfect. That is perfect.
Oh, tea's being delivered to Jenny. Look at
so
that.
tired.
Yeah, take a sip.
I did the Stairmaster, guys.
You earned it.
I earned it.
You earned it.
I climbed stairs. Yeah, and then I remember I don't know if I did it when I was 18 or 21, but I did the joke joint when it was in the next mic I did was in when it was at the Thunderbird.
Oh yeah.
And I met Jesse Campbell, who I like was crushing on so hard.
Uh-huh.
I was like, she's the greatest comic ever. And so I had like these nice memories of like comics that I used to see. Like I remember Andy Erickson.
Yeah.
When I was like first starting here. Either again 18 or 21, I don't remember. But I remember I came to this table and I was at like there's a comic table and I was like, is there a mic here? And some dick was like, why ask a stupid question like that? And they all laughed, and I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like the stuff that you remember.
Sure.
What is it? Where's that comic? Nowhere. Fuck you, man.
Exactly.
I'll show you where the mic is, motherfucker.
Exactly. Right in front of you doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Which
Or
that
was it
person is
you?
not doing. I'm no comic. I'm not a comic. I'm a fan and a podcaster now.
That's so lovely.
That used to do
You
radio.
are a
So yeah,
podcaster.
no.
Okay.
No comic here.
Okay, good. Well, that comic's gone now.
Yeah.
So fuck 'em.
Nope, not me. Wasn't me.
Sorry, I'm going on a lot of tangents.
That's good. Just keep talking. That's all
Okay.
good. So but you let's go. I read somewhere it was Stevie Ray's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray's still around.
I don't. I should know. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, you know why? One of the reasons I chose them is because I think they had Maria Bamford down in like their credits or something.
Oh wow.
And I was a big Maria Bamford fan.
Is that Purpich School using your name in their credits? Like Jenny went to school here.
I wrote a letter to Congress to be like, keep the school open.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, when was
Oh yeah. That school should be open. If anyone's listening to this podcast, keep the Arts High School open. It's so great. I don't know. I'm waiting for them to call me to like allow me to give a commencement speech.
You know, since we were talking about that again, I'm curious. I have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
One is in 6th grade, the other's in 4th grade. And and 6th grade is quickly merging into,
Yeah.
that age. She's hitting that age. And I'm wondering was your like how things were for you, like just success-wise in school or happiness? Was it what was the big was there a huge difference between going to that Purpich Performing Arts School versus a regular public school?
Yes, there was a huge difference.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily unhappy at Hopkins. Like it was still a fine school, but it's big. It's like 300 kids a class.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and you're not necessarily at a place that feeds creativity very well. They're thinking a lot about other things and tests and, getting money to build theaters and, sports is huge.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sporty, and I was just kind of like this, awkward fat kid that liked to draw. And that going to that school like that allowed me, to do that, to just be like weird and draw all the time and do what I want. And like they gave us this added level of respect because we called them by their first names, which I was like, that's really, it was like it was very much like you're an adult. We were in school longer. We were in school from 9 to 5 most of the time.
So like job hours.
Yeah, and which was great because like my dad was raising me. He was a single dad. And so when he would come home from work, I would come home. I wasn't just like hanging around being like, what do I do now?
Hey, that could help.
Yeah, like it was really great. I totally, if anyone gave me, for some odd reason, was like, Jenny, what do you think would make schools better? I'd be like 9 to 5. 100%. Make schools 9 to 5.
I can tell you as a parent of a kids in school, I would like that.
Yeah, like because your kids ends at 2:30. You don't got to work till 5. What are you supposed to do?
I have to leave work early all the time to get them.
Exactly.
I'm not with their mom. I'm divorced and remarried. So yeah. I have my certain days that I have them, and it's like I want to take advantage of that. But then when they're out at 2:30, that means I'm not working at that time because I got to get out of work to go see them.
Yeah. It's
that's a whole other thing. It's a weird balance.
It's archaic. It comes from when we used to be more of an agricultural, society. Blah 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 blah. Whatever.
Yeah, but I gotta think that like I'm just thinking back like when I went from high school to college, and then it happens to most people. You get to be more of yourself.
But I was so ready when I was already there.
Well, that's what I mean. You got to do it 2 years earlier.
I got to. Sorry, the teachers were it was very like, this is on you. Like your education's on you because we also at least in my grade, I had like a 2-hour break on some days where I didn't do anything. And like my friends and I would get in my car and we'd go thrift shopping or we'd go out to lunch. Like we would use our time to go do fun stuff, but also we still always went back to school. Like we could have just left, but we always went back because it was like, no, this is important to us. And I think that, I mean, of my school, almost everyone went to college. Like, I know it's a small group, but almost everyone went.
Yeah,
and,
that says something.
Yeah, and if they didn't, they're still, like, pursued art, pursued what they wanted. And it was great because there's a lot of kids, too, especially, like, we were so welcoming of, you know, of gay, bi, trans,
Sure.
LGBTQ, all that, which we had kids coming from northern Minnesota where that's probably not the greatest environment for them, could come here and, like, feel like they mattered and feel like a person.
Oh, that's really cool.
And that's what that school gave me, and it gave a lot of people that. And I'm getting all like high on my high horse and like emotional about it. But like for a lot of high schoolers, it really changed their lives and changed their life. Like, I don't think I would be the person I am without that experience.
Wow.
And if I gave up comedy, opened my own little vintage store in Minneapolis and like popped out a baby, I would do it so that they could like go to that high school.
That's
so
really cool.
Keep that high school open, guys. It's
there
great.
you go. Why Boston?
Because I got state tuition.
Oh, who moved there?
My mom.
Oh.
So she claimed me on my taxes.
Nice.
Sorry, Mass Art. Oh, they were mad about it every day. The staff would be like, "Oh, it's weird that a Massachusetts resident goes home to Minnesota every summer," and I'd be like, "Isn't it?"
Yeah. Where's your accent, bitch?
Yeah. But yeah, it was great. I only applied to one school, and I got in, so I was like, perfect.
Nice.
Set.
Nice.
Because especially for art school, it's so, I mean, it's all really expensive, but art school's very expensive.
For
so
sure.
that was a perfect experience for me. And then also, I love Boston. I love Massachusetts. It was like a perfect mix of like, I had the Minnesota niceness and then going to Boston, which is like old and like, you know, curmudgeon-y, but also like full of history and intellect and very like this intellectual city. But also you got like the Southie dude.
Yeah.
Like it was just such a great place to come from. Also, I mean, you want to talk about comedians coming out of there.
Yeah.
Insane.
Tons.
Yeah.
Tons. So let's go. When did that get back in? When did the comedy get back in?
I was 21. I was at a study abroad trip. I was in London.
Trip or like the whole school year?
Just for like 6 months.
Okay.
So someone showed me, they were like, "Oh, do you want to check out this comedian?" And it was winter of 2008, and someone showed me Russell Brand.
Okay.
Which I feel so dumb. Like it wasn't like Lenny Bruce that got me into comedy. It was like Dane Cook and Russell Brand.
Yeah, I hear a lot of Richard Pryors and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, look, I grew up like Comedy Central was my babysitter.
Sure.
So I grew up watching all the old comedy specials. Like I remember Paula Poundstone's special where like she talks about dying from cinnamon and like thinking that was so funny, and like Monty Python and the Kids in the Hall. Like I already had that foundation of like, because I always knew I was going to do comedy. So like the movies I made were comedies. The comics that I made were comedy. Like everything I did was comedy. So it wasn't like a far cry. But I think with those guys is that they did have this added element. They have this added element of visual spectacular. And then as a girl, you're like already attracted to them in some way, right? And I have this thing where if I'm attracted to people, like it's because they have something that I want. Like I want to be like them in some way. So I think seeing Russell and his just like that very, he's a very dandy, like
dandy.
He's a dandy. He's a total dandy. He's a. You ever read The Art of Seduction?
No.
It talks about the different seductive types. Okay. It's very interesting. And one of them is a dandy. And a dandy's like, it's very alluring. Like they seem very uninterested in you. And they're like, they're fashionable and they don't even know they're fashionable. Like it's that kind of, and they also straddle both the sexes of like they're male and female. So it's like this really alluring thing.
Yeah.
And so it's very mysterious, right? He's always mysterious, and he was smart and said big words and was like jumping around on stage, but it was very feminine at the same time. He was masculine. Like it was just a perfect symphony of everything that I liked. And I was like, I love him. I must do stand-up. So then I picked it up again. And funny enough, I went, so the first time I was on Comedy Central, if you watch his special from 2008, I'm in it in the audience.
What?
I'm in there 5 times. You can see me.
No way.
Yeah, like standing and applauding and being like, I love you.
No shit.
Right? So then afterwards, I was like, I met him afterwards, and I was in front of all these girls, and I was like, I love you so much. Like, you're my hero. I think you're so great. Can I do some stand-up for you? And he was just like, ugh, I don't have time to have sex with all these people, let alone listen to your bit. And, like, humiliated me. Then made out with the girl next to me.
No.
Yeah. And then a few months ago, he was doing his book talk in Brooklyn, and I just, like, had to go. And so, like, I went, and then, like, I went and asked a question. And he was like, are you very, you're very comfortable. And I was like, I'm a comedian. And he's like, oh, I knew it. I knew you were a comic. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I am a comic. Like, it was just like this weird thing that I felt I had to do, where I had to, like, face him and be like, you wouldn't listen to my bit 8 years ago. Now look at me. I'm a comedian.
Wow.
But it was like I had to, it was like this moment where I told him, I was in front of all these people. I was like, you were one of the big reasons I actually just started doing stand-up again. So it's really fun to, like, be here and do this. But he was also at the same time, his body language was very like, ooh, like, I didn't want to, like, deal with another comedian kind of look. But that's also probably a story I've made up in my head because it fits my narrative of him. Right, Russ, if you're listening to this, I've made a narrative of you. And it's not good, so text me.
Yeah, did you buy his book?
No.
No.
No, I didn't. Well, I paid $15 to see him, so I think I'm fine. But yeah, I'm so rambly. I'm sorry.
No, and I love that you just threw that. I was going to go, so have you had a chance to meet him? Clearly you have.
I have, and it was kind of like, it was also like, it was just, I like narrative. I'm a super narrative person, so I always I think my life's a movie, so I always, like, find these little plot points and stuff, like, so having that, like, that closed off the story of Russell Brand and me, like, that was my nice little ending to it.
Yeah.
Finally, like, doing my special, and, like, that was another, like, closure of that, of, like, being the comic and, like, waiting for that moment to come where, that's your big thing.
Yeah.
And, like, that was it. And it was really important to me. And then there was, like, another thing where I, like, after Prince died, it, like, really affected me. Like, I didn't expect it to make me as sad as it did, but it, like, really affected me.
A lot of people.
And I think it's, like, because we're from the same place and all this other stuff. And, like, he was important, and I don't know, whatever the reason. But I filmed my special on the day he died. So for me, there was, like, there was my lovely little closure of my story.
Oh, wow.
So that was, like, a little fun little narrative thing that I did. So, yeah, I just always think of everything in, like, stories, and, like, that's why I do really dumb stuff, is because I'm trying to get the story.
Hey,
right?
That's how it works.
That
sometimes.
is how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Jesus. That Prince thing. Yeah. That's one of those things I'll never forget, where I was when I found out.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was really weird, because it was like, I was actually doing a painting job in an office building.
Yeah.
And these employees were there, and the one was, like, looking at her phone going, Harvey Prince died. And he's like, I'm looking here, and it says he's not dead. And it's just, like, going back and forth, and we're just about to leave for lunch. And my buddy and I leave for lunch, like, did Prince die? Like, just on pins and needles, like, we need an update on this thing. I don't know. Carrie didn't seem too certain, but Harold, or whatever the guy he's working, he was pretty sure that he's going to survive. And
oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just, like, there are these people in your life that, whether, like, for whatever reason, they affect you. And I don't know why it affected me the way it did, but there was something about it. And then there was some stuff afterwards that, like, changed the way, like, I lived my life afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know why. And then, but you know what, though? We always create narratives. We always create these narratives because our brains are biologically wired to have a beginning, middle, and end to everything.
Yeah.
So honestly, there's probably no reason for anything ever. But your brain has to make sense of it.
Yeah,
so that's
it helps
why
to
it does
understand
it.
when there is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I like comedy.
Did you? So you were saying that you were in England doing the study abroad.
Yes,
thing?
I was doing
Russell
study abroad.
Brand. Did you
Russell
go on stage
Brand.
there then?
Not
No.
then. I came home and I went to I think every girl starts off her stand up not every girl, but a majority of women start off their stand up path because of a breakup. And I had just broken up with someone,
Okay.
like my fiance. I was also very stupid for trying to get married at 20, but I just went and I was like, I'm going to try this again. And I did, and I got some laughs, and then it was just like, I just kept coming back. And then I think about a month into that, I was like, oh yeah, like this is what I want to do.
And you were still in school?
I was still in school, but I mean, film was still a super important part of all of this because I work in film, I write scripts, like at least like I think as a stand-up you have to be able to do that. And like, sorry, my phone is buzzing.
Oh.
Sorry guys, I'm very popular. It's probably an email for a bill. But yeah, you just like, I just came home and knew immediately I had to do it and was just like, well, now I'm just finishing my degree.
Okay.
Kind of thing. But it was great. I met really great people in the Boston stand-up community that I still today like love so much.
Good.
Yeah. And like I have friends all over the world because of this job, which is so great. I love this job. I would be so unhappy to just be in production or like just be a writer,
Sure.
like writing scripts. Like this is the best thing in the world. I'm very lonely.
Diversify. You're diversified.
I'm diversified, right? Like I could go to Europe right now and I could book a whole week of shows just from friends of being like, or I can like, I've done shows in Israel. Like people have been like, oh, I can get you shows in Japan. I can get you shows in like China. There are tons of expats in China. So it's like, what other job do you have where you get to like, people are like, oh, I can get you to go do this. It's really cool.
Super cool. Super cool. Did you have like, a lot of people, the plan.
Okay.
You go to college
Yeah.
and then you finish and then you start that career that you went to college for and you start looking for a job. There was no like 9-to-5 job that you were looking for.
No, what I did is I sold orthotics for my brother.
Sold orthotics.
So my brother owned these orthotic shops. And so I would sell the orthotics, and that was my job for like 5 years out of college, where I would drive up to Manchester and Plymouth, New Hampshire from Boston, which is an hour and a half each way. So I would drive so long to go work.
Yikes.
But the upside was I got paid really well because it was family. And then...
Show up late.
What?
Show up late, no problem.
Oh, dude, I played hooky a few times.
I bet.
My brother's like, where are you? And I was like, I don't know. But I was like on a roof
Yeah.
with a friend, like drinking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then I could be like, hey, I want to go away to New York for the weekend. I could just take off time whenever I needed to.
Awesome.
Which was great. So, I think I was really lucky in that. I was really lucky. A lot of people don't have that opportunity and work, crappy 9-to-5s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I very much lucked out with a day job so that I could really cultivate my stand-up.
No waiting tables for you?
I've never waited a table.
Good for you.
Yeah, but I've stuck my hands inside of people's shoes. So if any people doing waitstaff are like, oh, what a spoiled bitch, you don't know the hell I've been through, okay? I can
hell. Only imagine. 5 years, you said, right?
5 years, and their animals pee in their shoes and they don't know it.
What?
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah, because they don't get down that deep. I'm pulling out the insides of their shoes to put the orthotic down in there, And if you wear gloves, people get weird. They're like, what's wrong with my feet?
What's wrong with me? Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's just your cat's probably pissed in the shoe a dozen times. And then people come in, I'm like, when's the last time you bought a new pair of shoes? Like, oh, these shoes are 10 years old. So put your hand in a 10-year-old shoe and then get mad at me.
Right. I'd be praying for that spray they have at bowling alleys, right?
Oh, my God. I don't even think we had that.
Oh, awful. Awful. I was getting up for work one morning, I don't know, 10 years ago, put my shoe on, and I was like, what in the I just slid it on real fast. I'm like, what is there like a paper, felt like it was like Kleenex or something, like in the toes of my shoe. It was a mouse that was still alive.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Did you kill it?
I let it back outside.
Oh, it was alive.
Yes.
It lived.
Yes. Yes. I took my shoe off and shook it, and it fell out and then took off.
I do really wish it was a dead mouse.
No, it was live, and I did catch it, and I released it back into its natural habitat.
Yeah, and then I just went and probably shit in your shoes some more.
No, they were hidden.
Yeah, you got to drop those things like, what, a mile from your house or something? They always find their way back.
The truth is, I caught him in a bucket, and I
you
heave-hoed the bucket over my
He's so dead.
over my deck.
He died
He
died on impact.
Yeah, well, it was a field. There were.
You crushed him with your foot, and then you threw him.
He may have still have a family in that field.
No, he's dead.
He's probably dead. Since then, I've had 4 pet rats, so I've given back to that community.
Okay, thank you.
I've definitely given back to that community. When did you first start headlining? How long did that take?
I was doing colleges before.
Okay.
So I was doing colleges not well, but I was doing them like maybe 4 years in, 4 or 5 years in. And then I started headlining. My first headlining gig was at a club in North Carolina called the Dead Crow.
Okay.
Comedy Club. And that was probably 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it was about, Yeah, it was about 3 years ago. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. And then, I mean, most people don't headline you unless you have like a Conan or a late night.
Yeah.
So I was doing like very B clubs. And then after Conan, I started getting...
You've done 2 Conans,
I've done 2 Conans.
Yeah.
So after my first Conan, the A club started being like, okay, we can like have her come out.
Yeah.
And it's just right now I'm trying to work on a new hour. So club people, they sometimes get a couple of duds. What can I say?
Where do you have a where do you slide in the new jokes? Just anywhere it seems right.
I usually tell them. You know what I do is I do really good at the front, like real fun stuff, gain their trust, and then I can be like, hey guys, I'm gonna do some new stuff, and then I think they're like, oh, we like her so much now. It's fine.
Okay.
You know,
you don't have to tell them. You could just do it.
I don't have to, but then it's because then I can make a joke about it being new, and then if it does bomb, I can make a joke. It's like I can. It's all.
You don't think the setting it up like that affects it? As well?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So maybe like for some things, but mostly like if I'm just like having fun with them already, and it's already so conversational, it's like. It's almost like a vulnerability that I show them even more vulnerability to be like, hey guys, like we're having so much fun now. Let's get real. Like I'm ready to really, I trust you guys so much. Trust me that it's going to be good. And if it's not, then I'm like, all right, dudes, what did you expect? And then they usually have fun. And we just like, I really like to treat the show like it is a fun kind of conversation, party atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, I do a lot of crowd work, talk to people, just try to be like fun and like then I slip in a couple of political views.
Are you doing that?
Oh yeah. You can't not. Like it's too crazy to just be like, "Oh, I'm just here to be funny."
It's interesting though because like last week Sean Patton was here.
Mhm.
If you follow him on social media, he's very outspoken about what's going on in the world today, like with, the president and everything that's pissing everybody off. But on stage, he doesn't really go there at all. We did the podcast last week.
Yeah.
None of that stuff came up once.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way. I'm just,
My Twitter is very much a lot of retweets. But, I think for me, what I'm slipping in isn't necessarily like political manifesto, but it's like a fun take on inequality. Like talking about I talk a lot about women's experiences.
Okay.
I talk a lot about feminism and like what it's really like. I want to like kind of filter through the bullshit, and hopefully my audience comes away with being like, oh, I didn't know that. That was nice for her. So I talk about history stuff. I'm working on this new bit about women who served in the Civil War.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's like what
you could tell me anything, and I'd be like, oh yeah,
right. Like
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll pretend like I'm smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's like how I started it. I go like, did you guys know that like 750 women, close to 750 women, cross-dressed to serve, and that all came about from the transgender ban that the president was trying to do, where it was like, hey, this has been going on. Like people are going to serve, want to serve, and there's no reason a guy who's never been to war ever and dodged the draft 5 times should tell people who want to serve, who gets to serve. So I do this whole thing about women serving, and what that must have been like for them to be like, you're in Victorian society, you've never not been escorted around by a guy, or you've been, you've just been oppressed your whole life. Then suddenly you're in the camps. Everyone thinks you're a boy.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, wow, like dudes being dudes. And like how horrific that must have been for them. And it's not even only in this war, in the Revolutionary War, women would fight, women cross-dressed and fought too. So it's like that kind of stuff to me, where I want to open people's minds up to stuff that they didn't think about before.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because they probably didn't know. Most people don't know that information.
Mm-hmm.
And that would change the whole dynamic of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they fought and they died. Like there are soldiers who are dead that were buried in mass graves that were women that we'll never know about. We'll never know about them.
Yeah.
And, I'm very much in like, we have to honor those women, except the Southern ones. They really picked the wrong side. Fuck them. I'm glad they're dead.
Standing firm on that one. That's awesome.
Wrong side of history, bitch. Enjoy that ditch.
I read that you did some reenacting or something.
I did. I was a historical reenactor in Boston. I loved it. I mostly did it for the dresses. Like at first, I was like, I love big dresses. That's why I did it. And then as I started to learn the history of America, I became more excited about it. And now I'm like, I still love it. And I love like studying history, and like I listen to a lot of history. I listen to a lot of American history podcasts. Sorry, I'm like so much gas in my stomach right now. I listen to a lot of American history podcasts. I like listening to American history books on tape. Every time I go on the road, I go to like an American history site. So I was just at the Battle of Little Bighorn.
Oh wow!
And like learned about that. And like now I'm trying to read up on kind of like what it was like for the Native American experience in America.
Yeah.
And I mean, because that's fascinating.
Be careful who wrote those
Horrible
books. Check out the sources on those books. A lot of different perspectives.
I think that's good to get like all the types of perspectives you can. But yeah, I mean, like I'm definitely going for like the, not self-published Amazon, the depths of Amazon books. These are legit books.
Legit.
They're legit.
Keep it legit, y'all.
Yeah, it was sold at the U.S. government Little Bighorn gift shop. It can't be bad.
That's credible.
It's pretty credible.
I'm
yeah,
thinking that's credible. Wow, so you're like all nerdy on history. That's awesome.
I'm very nerdy on history. Yeah, actually, if you guys will tune in to the future, I've got some cool stuff coming up. I won't say anything more than that. But
okay.
I've got some good stuff in the works about history.
Sounds,
very excited for it.
Sounds good. Let's Conan, I'm sure the 2015 Conan wasn't your first TV appearance, was it?
I know. I was in a show called Funniest Wins before that with Marlon Wayans.
Oh.
So I was...
Yeah, I think I read that, but I have no idea what the show is.
It was like a comedy competition show. It had one season. And it was a good show.
Was it on? What was it on?
TBS.
TBS.
Yeah, and I got second place.
Okay.
Winner won $100,000.
Oh.
I didn't
And
get
you got
any-
$50,000
I
for
got
second,
nothing.
right?
No,
Nothing.
nothing.
Ah!
I got a part in a movie.
Yeah, hell
I
yeah,
eventually
you did.
got 50 Shades of Black, so that's pretty cool. You know, so it all worked out in the end.
What? Okay, so that contest thing was the first.
Yeah, that was my first major TV thing.
Okay.
Was there anything before that? No. No, that was it.
And then Conan was next.
And then Conan. And then then I got At Midnight,
Yeah.
which I loved doing. Oh, I loved that show. That show was so fun. And then it's just been I do a lot of I did Adam Ruins Everything, which was really fun. I've done I'll be on a season of Comedy Knockout.
Oh. I've watched that.
Yeah, so I'll be on that. I do Girl Code Snapchat, which is it gets 7 million views.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that show on television anymore?
So it was on television, but now it's in Snapchat.
Now they've switched it to Snapchat.
Yeah, and it gets it's crazy how many views it gets. I don't think I got any extra Instagram followers though.
You'd think you would.
I thought I would, but it's fine. I still like doing it.
Yeah.
So
those 7 million aren't. Yeah. Come on, people.
I know, right, guys? Come on. And just a lot of I did a Facebook first thing. So I do a lot of kind of just talking. Oh, I was on a show called Greatest Ever. Was it Greatest Ever? Damn it, it wasn't. Or Worst Ever. I was on some talking head show.
Sure, with the
I do
clips
a lot of
and the
talking head
comments.
stuff.
And
Yeah, and I would like to do more acting. But I also love just being myself and talking, as you can tell by this podcast.
Did you act? Did you do any school acting, in the plays or any of that?
No,
No,
I didn't.
No.
I didn't get cast. I tried out.
you tried out and didn't get cast.
I didn't get cast.
And you've been in major motion pictures.
But yeah. Well, what are those assholes doing?
Yeah,
Nothing.
exactly.
I'm so bitter.
So I haven't seen 50 Shades of Black.
That's okay.
I haven't seen 50 Shades of Grey.
Neither have I.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. Did you?
I figured my character was super made up anyways. So I was like, just do whatever, Jenny.
Yeah. So haven't, like I said, I haven't seen that movie, but I did search YouTube, and they do have at least 1 2-minute clip.
Someone has a Katisha.
Yes, your character is named Katisha, correct?
Katisha medley that I saw, which I was like, oh, that's really nice of them.
Yeah, what I saw is you laying on a couch.
Yeah, talking about my STDs. I think I got chlamydia in that scene.
Yes,
I really played it up.
Yeah,
really.
And there's a fella with you, and he stands up and.
Oh, that's a sex scene.
Okay, well that was.
I was on the
too.
couch a lot in that movie.
All right.
Several times I was on that couch.
No, the one I saw, the fellow that was with you stands up and is.
Was that a big old dong?
Yeah, hits the ground. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like.
It's knocking
hits
stuff
a
off
bunch
a
of stuff.
table.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was very fun. I really like working with those guys.
Marlon
And
Wayans.
I
right?
love Marlon, and his show's really good. Have you watched it?
No.
Ooh.
Which show?
His show. He has a show on NBC called Marlon.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It's really good. You should watch it.
Is it a sitcom?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a 3-camera sitcom.
I didn't even know.
Oh, it's got a second season, so now you can do
Well,
it.
see, they survived without me ever watching. They got.
What is that? What are you doing?
He's gonna
okay.
he's gonna take a picture of us while we're talking.
Wait, let me get my angles. Wait, I gotta show my bones, my clavicle bones. What is this a bad position?
You look so comfortable.
They fluff up my hair.
There you go. I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, but something about when you did that movie with the audition.
Yeah.
Did you go in character?
I did.
Tell me about that.
So so when you do auditions, you should dress up like the character, at least like an inkling of the character. But oh my god, I bought $100 hair extensions. Like
that you're gonna
I bought
use
a
once.
whole outfit, which I bought at the Mall of America. I have never used those hair extensions again.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
But I did like this whole crazy outfit, and I went in and I just like fucking sold it.
Like, what did they tell you were reading for?
I knew I was reading for Katisha.
Yeah.
So you go. I already had the audition. I already knew it was going to happen. So then it was just like making the character, which for me it always starts with the hair.
Okay.
Like I love wigs. Like right now I'm obsessed with wigs. I own many wigs, and I'm trying to get the courage to like wear them out in the world, but it's been very difficult.
Okay.
It's hard because it's like I just don't feel like I'm. People are gonna know I'm wearing a wig. Then they're like, "Why is she wearing a wig? Is she dying?"
Right.
So I have to get some better quality wigs. But I love wigs. I actually was gonna go buy some this week. But so yeah, I started with the hair. Then I had a look. I mean, I put in earrings. I had just, everything. And I have like a whole drawer now that's just like costumes that you wear, like a scrub costume.
Sure.
I have a blazer that I never wear except if I'm doing auditions for like a cop,
Yeah.
So it's just, you always got to kind of like look the part, and that helps you get into character too, because auditions are a nightmare anyways. So if you look weird doing them, it's more fun. Because that's just what I want to do. I just want to like do fun auditions.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple really fun ones where I didn't get the part at all. I didn't even get a call back, but I like went in and felt it was fun for me,
Oh, something to be said for that.
Yeah.
So when you that movie came out before Bad Santa 2,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Like almost
It came
a
out
year
the
before.
same year.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
2016 was a good year for me.
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, we've all had a weird year. Come on.
We all had a weird
We've all
year.
had a weird year. Just different degrees, I guess. But when that movie comes out, you get to do the Hollywood like premiere and everything?
I didn't really do that much press for it.
No?
I actually, for 50 Shades of Black, I was a supporting lead. And for Bad Santa, I was just what is it called? A feature.
Okay.
So, but I wasn't on the press circuit. It was like the top 5 people. So it was Billy, Kathy, Christina, Thornton, not Thornton. Oh my God.
Oh, I wrote it down. Brett Kelly?
Brett, yeah. I have his headshot like on my fridge right now because I left it at my house.
Thurman Merman.
Yeah, Brett.
We're talking about.
Brett came over the house and like left a headshot, and I just like have it on my fridge.
What does his hair look like in real life? Does he have like?
He's blonde.
Yeah.
No, it's like dark. It's like more strawberry blonde.
Oh, okay.
It's much darker.
Okay.
Yeah, he gained like 60 pounds for that role.
For real?
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty nuts.
So obviously, I have seen that movie.
Yeah.
Let me go back here. Guy I was working with when it was out in theaters like a year ago at this time, right? Wasn't it out last December?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In November it came out.
November? Okay. Friend of mine comes back to work Monday morning. He's like, oh, yeah, Friday night I went and saw Bad Santa 2, and I took my kids,
Why did he do that?
12 and 14.
Why did he do that?
That's, yeah. I don't think he
Girls
did.
or boys?
One of each. I don't think he did much research.
Nope.
So you can go on the record right now. Not a movie for 12 and 14-year-olds.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No. Yeah. So when I watched it later on, that's all I thought about the whole time. My wife
Was
and I,
that the 12 and a 14-year-old
yeah,
were watching it?
I'm watching it with my wife, 2 adults.
Yeah.
And there's scenes where you're like, oh my God, like this is going like, but it's they get pretty crass. There's some graphic, not like XXX rated, like there's not a ton of nudity, but
Yeah.
some sex and whatnot in the butt.
It's still a dirty movie.
It's a dirty movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Exactly. Not one to watch with your kids.
No.
No.
I like my little sister will never see a thing I'm in.
That's what I was going to ask you. So she knows what you do for a living.
She's seen my Conans.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was on the radio today. I brought her to the club. She knows what I do, but I will never let her see anything I'm in. Unless the next project I'm doing is a fun
Voice in Pixar.
children.
Or
Yeah, a
something.
fun voice in Pixar. I'd love to do a Pixar voice.
That
Oh
would
my
be
gosh.
awesome. But wherever your sister lives, they have internet.
Yeah, but I don't think she's a really nice girl. Like
Someday, Jenny.
I'm sure when
Just
she's
like my kids are going to
14.
listen to this podcast someday, I'm sure. They never
Yeah.
have. They know it exists.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said anything to where I'm just gonna like break their heart or anything. But you know,
You never know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's she'll see it eventually.
Yeah?
I know she will, and then but she'll be a teenager. She'll just be like, ugh, who
Right.
cares?
Right.
Whatever, Jenny. Whatever. Like, I don't know. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for her to be a shitty teenager, so I can just make her life even more hard. It's gonna be great.
Was there ever a point where someone would have described you as a shitty teenager?
Yeah, I'm sure. I
Yeah.
loved corn. I was a shitty teenager immediately. Right off the bat, I was a piece of shit. Corn and Limp Bizkit, baby.
Oh, the Limp Bizkit years. Yes. Did you have a Yankees hat? Did you go buy a Yankees hat to be like Fred Durst?
I think I did. And then my sister took it. My older sister took it and lost it on Halloween because she
Oh.
was Fred Durst for Halloween.
She did you a favor.
She probably really did.
She was There's no doubt. I got to ask you the lamest question ever, but I have to. Like, you got to work with Kathy Bates, Billy Bob
Yeah.
Thornton. Like, that's awesome,
They were
right?
really nice. Billy Bob was super nice. He's really funny, and he's just like a really cool dude. Kathy was very sweet. Her and I had very limited interaction just because, I was just busy.
Sure.
And she was like, and we had one scene together, but she was super sweet. I made her laugh a few times, which was like, yes, like so cool.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Yeah, but she was just like, I really liked everyone I worked with. There was no one where I was like, ugh, they're such a diva.
Yeah.
Everyone was like super cool. And I think from there, like I got, it just was like the worst part about it was that once you're done filming, it's like a very summer campy feel to
Sure.
it.
I've heard that.
So when you're done, everyone just kind of goes and does their own thing again. And I wasn't ready for that. I honestly was like, we're going to be friends forever, right? All of us? And it's like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this feels weird.
I just changed jobs recently. I'd working with some guys for like 2.5 years, and then now I'm not for the last month. Tomorrow was going to be my first chance to go back and work with those guys for a day. And I was looking forward to it so much. An hour before I came here today, I got the call. Oh, we finished the job. We don't need your help. And I was like, the work didn't even matter. I just wanted to see my old buddies.
Yeah, it's like
because that day when I walked away and was like, all right, this is it. I'm like not going to work with you guys anymore. Like that goodbye is really super weird. Like, take care. See you down the road, or I'll be back. But.
Like, I'm sure as my career catapults into the stratosphere and I become a super duper duper star with a crippling drug addiction, hopefully, really bank on a cocaine one.
Yeah.
I'll cross paths with all of them. It's not going to be like, I'm not going to be like, you never answered my text. Like, it's, we're all
Kathy
like
Bates
busy and
is
stuff.
dead to me.
Yeah. Like, what a bitch. No.
Have you watched her show Disjointed on Netflix?
I have.
Yes. What do you think of that?
It's a good show.
Yeah, you're smiling.
That's a good show. It's not my style. I don't like sitcoms.
Okay.
They're not my jazz.
Yeah.
But, it's a good show.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I
You
don't like some of
pothead?
the negative, there's some negative like pothead stereotypes in there where I'm like, what are they
That
going
was a little
for?
too much. It was a little too much in like the stereotype of, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Also, someone did point out it was like, while, black men are being convicted on weed charges, here comes a fun show about a lovely little white lady in her little store, and it's like, yeah, it feels
How convenient.
wrong. Yeah, I'm like,
How
it feels
convenient,
wrong,
right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like we, as a country, we have a lot of cleanup to do.
No.
It should just be legal. We should just be legal.
Well, it's going to be
Come on.
recreational in L.A. now, or in California, right?
After the new year. What about Minnesota? What's going on here?
Nada.
Really?
No.
What about medicinal?
For some, very, very, very restricted. My wife has lupus and cannot get medical marijuana.
Really?
It would really help her for pain. And, yeah.
I mean,
that
I
doesn't
get-
qualify. She has a disease,
Really?
and it doesn't qualify. Yeah. So there you go. If anybody's listening out there, yeah, factor that in. Jerks.
Yeah, I mean that's we gotta just let the old people die. They've ruined everything. I'm just like, you're gonna die. Why are you ruining everything for us?
Stop caring.
Yeah, like who? Like I hate. I'm so angry. So angry. I'm just like old. Like and old people getting high is like I go to Portland and there are old people getting high and they're having the greatest fucking time in their lives. And here you got old people just being cold and angry and for no reason because Jesus told them not to smoke weed. I don't know. Like your life will be better. Just let other people do it. Like it's not hurting you. Also, Minnesota would get more money. We'd get more money in taxes. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Take a tip from those other states. It's working.
Yeah, it is working, and it's great. And like I mean, my uncle died, and he was in Israel, and he was in a lot of pain, and I know the weed would have helped him.
Mm-hmm.
It would have helped him, and he didn't get the care that he needed. And for me, like I get debilitating nausea during my period where I can't go on stage.
Yikes!
I can't perform,
Eesh.
and the only thing that helps is weed.
Really?
It's the only thing that will help with the nausea. Like or I'm just gonna be in a ball crying in the back room.
Yikes.
So it's like
That should qualify.
it does.
Yeah.
I mean in LA it does.
Yeah. Right.
I have anxiety. Here you go.
We don't even need to know to what degree. Just okay.
I just don't like being in crowds. And they're like, here you go.
Crowds of two is too much. Yeah, it's really bad.
Being at home, just being alive. I think just being a human is an excuse enough to do drugs. Like it's rough.
In some circumstances,
It's a rough time.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Not the bad ones, just the fun ones.
No,
just weed
yeah.
and hallucinogenics.
I hear you.
Just weed and mushrooms.
Is this IFC thing you did? Is that still going on?
No, that's not. We're kind of talking to the producers about doing something with it, but we're trying to release a podcast that's very similar to the Feeling is Mutual.
Janelle
James,
I watched
stuff.
that one. She's been on this podcast.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I love her. But yeah, I mean, people just got to keep tuning in. I'm doing new stuff all the time.
Right
I'm
on.
doing fun videos. I have a great impression of Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I watched you do that.
Thank
that is
you.
Very good.
I've got a good one coming up, a new holiday one
Okay.
that I'm going to release soon. So yeah, just people just got to show up.
Right on.
And I'll do it.
Right on. Where are we at for time here? Oh yeah, we should wrap this
Yeah,
up
I got to
here.
pee so bad.
Oh, okay. Well then, you should go do that, and we can. We have to say you have a new album out.
I do. Jay-Z's new album. Download it. iTunes, Amazon, whatever.
When you did Conan, and Conan read the title, and he laughed.
And he
that
laughed
was so
at it.
awesome.
I felt really good. That was like my favorite part.
I bet.
Yeah.
That was super awesome. So go Jay-Z's new album.
Jay-Z's new album.
Go get that. You can find your half hour.
Yeah, and if they come here, I have the vinyls. I have some vinyls available.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So show up and to Acme, see your show, and you can.
Yeah. When is this being released?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, well, guys, if you come to the Friday late night show, I'm giving away a Kindle for the best ugly holiday attire.
Oh, sweater. Yeah, ugly.
Yeah. Sweater. It can be a whole pantsuit. It can be, you can come dressed as a Christmas dinosaur. I don't give a fuck. I want to see some cheer. God damn it.
Fair enough.
I'm giving away a Kindle because I don't want it.
That's where the Kindle came from. Thank
I
you.
don't just have Kindles lying around.
All right, you go use the bathroom. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much. This was great.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.